10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time. Dire team ban. Radiant team ban. Dire team pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
I speak for the trees.
Radiant team pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Invoker.
Radiant team pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Faceless Void.
Dire team pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
Alchemist.
Dire team ban.
Welcome back, everybody. Game number
10
2
seconds
between Danish
remaining.
Bears and no Diggity. No Diggity, obviously, one game
5
up.
seconds
And running the Alchemist again on Danish Bears. I'm not sure how I really feel about that one. I kind of think that
Radiant team ban.
it really was a shame that Penguin Check somehow did not end up top net worth chart at one point in time. That just simply shouldn't happen. But his laning phase did go rather well, and he's facing up against
10 seconds
same
remaining.
matchup. Excuse me, Alchemist versus
5
Invoker.
seconds
So
remaining.
I can kind of get where they're coming from. Faces Void is going to be
Radiant team
comboed
ban.
up by no Diggity. Be the pickup for Kezu. Now we've got the OD and Vengeful Spirit, both going to be banned away by Danish Bears. Oh, that's a little bit surprising. You know, I kind of like
10 seconds
OD.
remaining.
No, never mind. I see. No Diggity
5
have the
seconds
first
remaining.
pick coming into the second phase. So if OD was left in the pool, it was something that
Reserve
No
time.
Diggity could actually third pick here. Yes, they would have all 3 cores in the first 3 picks, but that's okay because one of the things is that safe lane OD is really powerful. It's a great burst damage hero. It works super well
Dire
against
team
Alchemist because it's pure damage for the most part, targeting a hero that's going to be pretty reliant on his like assault cuirass that he's going to have later on to the game. Like he's looking to just try and tank up as much as possible, right? So OD's not a bad carry here against Alchemist, but you also combine the fact that you don't want to actually give away OD, and that's why I say third pick here, because you don't want to leave an
10
Obsidian
seconds
Devourer,
remaining.
whatever the hell his name is, Outworld Devourer, whatever the goddamn
5
name that
seconds
Valve has
remaining.
changed it to. Anyway, you don't want to leave that out in the pool
Radiant
when you
team
have Faceless Void, because Faceless Void is one of the harder offlaners to punish, but boy does OD do it well. He destroys Faceless Void. My hero has like no intelligence as is. You give him a couple of shots there, steal some of that int. All of a sudden, Faceless Void is looking at no mana pool whatsoever. You know, where that all of a sudden that second bar that's supposed to be blue is just empty and black
10
and doesn't even
seconds
have numbers
remaining.
there. Yeah, that's what happens. So
5
Danish
seconds
Bears, I think that was
remaining.
smart. I was gonna kind of argue, you know, maybe they should consider picking up the OD, but they wouldn't have had the
Reserve
opportunity
time.
anyway. Then the Vengeful Spirits. I mean, again, I guess No Diggity could have gotten it third pick. Vengeful Spirits pretty valuable against Faceless Void, but Danish Bears want something that's a little bit laning phase focused. The thing is, Vengeful Spirit's good because it's able to swap a carry out of the Chronosphere, and that's, you know, good saving mechanism. But that doesn't mean that Vengeful Spirit is very good at stopping the Faceless Void from getting farm in lane. Shadow Shaman is, though. Shadow Shaman has this really good damage over time, long duration
Dire
disable
team
and
pick.
shackles, and might be able to set up with the right carry a lane that's actually able to zone out the Faceless Void, despite what I was saying earlier, which is that he's a super
Radiant
dangerous hero.
team
He's
back.
just super hard to shut out. And that is definitely a lane that can do that. Shadow Shaman and Ursa, any sort of direct, intense, single target damage, Faceless Void's gonna have to play pretty passive against this. And you don't want to see that from
10
Faceless Void.
seconds
You want to see him up in the enemy carry's face as much as possible. You want to see him
5 seconds
getting good
remaining.
CS out of his laning phase, because he doesn't have the same kind of farming mechanism that some of the other offlaners
Reserve
have, like
time.
Bat Rider or Lone Druid. Those heroes are just naturally able to get a good amount of farm outside the laning phase. Faceless Void just simply doesn't. That's why sometimes you'll see Iron Talon. In fact, this is probably an Iron Talon lane. I'm not going to lie. I'm not a big fan of Iron Talon first, but it's something that Kezu might have to consider here in this game. No Diggity, meanwhile, they're going to go for this aggressive support duo in the Bane and Mirana. Actually, is it a support duo? I bet they're still running a 4-position something else. No Diggity has done this before, right? I think it was the Epicenter Finals. I can't remember when it was. But they ran a safe lane Mirana. I can't say that I'm particularly... No, they ran the 4-position Mirana. But I think they've run the safe lane Mirana before. I'm like 90% sure about that. But they did run a Yapzor
Radiant
Mirana.
team
So this
pick.
could be a support duo, or this could be a safe lane farming Mirana that we've seen out of... I think Arrow was playing it? I can't really remember. I'm sure you guys will let me know in chat. But it could be either one. Not a big fan of safe lane Mirana. I really don't think it's a... I don't really think it's a thing. But with Faceless Void, it might be. You know, a good frontline hero that's able to create a nice
10
AoE
seconds
disable, so you
remaining.
run it just with this glass cannon kind of build, the Maelstrom or whatever,
5
is able to do a
seconds
lot of
remaining.
right-click damage. Or it could just be a support duo, which is sleep into the arrow. And it turns out that's what it's going to be. So they're going to go for a Weaver here. Nice slippery hero against the Ursa. I like that a lot. I love this Weaver pickup a lot more than anything else. First of all, it's going to go Desolator early on, so before the AC is picked up in the Alchemist, that hero is actually going to be in a little bit of danger of this physical damage. The Swarm is just quite powerful versus both of these melee cores. It's just one of those things that's able to munch on you, and Ursa might have to use his, at some point, use his overpower to actually get rid of the little bug attached to him.
Reserve time.
It's like a tick, man. It's gross. And this is also a self-sufficient core, and that's really important when you have a Bane Mirana duo. And the reason for that is you want to be able to move around the map. I mean, this is like kind of a guaranteed kill. You know, you get to sleep, nothing's blocking your arrow, guaranteed kill every single time, right? So you want to be able to move around the map and abuse this combination as much as you can in the laning phase. So you need a self-sufficient carry. This means something that is able to stay in the lane by itself against a Furion and won't be pushed out by the Treant spam. Weaver fits, you know, Weaver checks that box. Weaver's able to get early Desolator, and we'll be able to blow up some of these, like the Shadow Shaman. He's going to be super scared a lot of times once Weaver gets the bit amount of damage. Danish Bears rounding up their lineup with the Greedy 4 position. They're going to go for a Doom. Now, I like Doom against all three of these cores. Weaver, it's a little iffy because you're usually going to go Lincolns. Sometimes you'll see Weavers get greedy and try and go straight for some damage items, but this is definitely a game you want Lincolns against both Shadow Shaman as well as Doom. So Doom can be, the ultimate can be a little iffy against that, but if you can get something to proc that Lincolns, and be able to use Doom on the actual Weaver, great disabling ability, great against Faceless Void. If you get the opportunity to initiate, go ahead, drop the Doom on the Faceless Void, prevent the big Chronosphere from going down. And then obviously Invoker is going to be oftentimes target el numero uno when it comes to Doom as well. And the great part is that Doom has some pretty good abilities to proc Lincolns as well. You'll see Era's probably going to go, like he has to go for it in this game. Qualifier might even go for Lincolns himself. But there are some good abilities that Doom can pick up from the neutrals. For example, one of the best is probably the... it doesn't have great range, but the hard camps get the little Satyr. The little Satyr gives you Purge. The great thing about the Purge is that it's kind of expensive on mana. It's like 120 mana, but it has like a 3 or 4 second... I think it's 4-second cooldown? Might be 4 or 5. Anyway, the slow duration is practically as long as cooldown. But it's also an instant animation. It's just like, jump in, blink, pop, throw that Purge, throw down the Doom. So there are some ways to work around the Lincolns with Doom now, because it used to be with level depth, you actually had a second ability that you could cast in order to proc the Lincolns first, and then you could go ahead and throw out the Doom. Problem with level depth being replaced by Infernal Blade. Incredibly strong ability, in fact, much stronger, I would say, much stronger than level death. But there is one nasty con to it. That is, you are a hero that is wrecked even harder now by Lincolns. Batterian picked up our Penguin check. So he's going to have a waddling little pudgeling. Look at that guy go. Anyway, so Quelling Blade and Healing Salve for him. So this is going to be kind of the same idea as the dual lane with Furion, the Night Stalker Furion combination. Doom is a little bit more independent in that he's able to utilize the jungle, obviously, and Noya just got I think the best creep wave you could possibly get at level 1. The Unholy Aura for Doom is just absurd. 6 HP regen a second. Yeah, so we're playing around in the jungle. We'll be able to get his level 2 purely off of it. This is why Mirana 4 position has kind of come back into vogue. Is because of the fact that the arrow now insta-kills creeps. So it allows you to be a pseudo jungler at the beginning of the game. Arrow's gonna come out. Not gonna hit anything though. Doom managed to get a pull off there. Actually has another Satyr creep. That's awesome. It's awesome for Noya. So he can go ahead and swallow another one of those big bad boys and still keep his experience flowing while keeping the Unholy Aura and Shockwave. Because the Shockwave's really good too. You don't necessarily have a great mana pool to use it too often in the beginning of the game, but it's still 160 line damage. It goes pretty damn far too. Now, Noya went for Scorched Earth. I've seen some Dooms, they opt for going for Infernal Blade at level 2, just for the awesome harassment potential when you go into lane. Noya probably figures he's not going to have too many opportunities to right-click Weaver or Bane, because they are range heroes. If you're facing up against a melee carry, say there was a Spectre safe lane farming for no Diggity, you just kind of run in there. Spectre's trying to get some CS, you Infernal Blade him, it does a lot of damage, and it's pretty cheap. It's 40 mana. But Noya probably figures that's not going to be real opportunity here. Noya is going to be popped here. The Sunstrike damage is going to be shared with Hesta Joe, but it doesn't matter. The arrow, good rotation from Yapzor. And he's been doing a damn fine job. I mean, he's level 3 now, thanks to that kill on the Doom. He's been just kind of arrowing creep camps all around, which is also hurting the Doom, funny enough. This is the cool thing about it. It's killing Doom's creeps. The normal creeps that he would look for to consume. I never really thought about it as sort of this weird pseudo Doom counter before, but kind of works. Unfortunately, you know, Doom already has the creep that he wants and isn't going to trade that for the world, not for a little while now. But how's Kezu doing in the top lane? We've watched the bottom lane a lot just because I expected a lot of action out of that. And we were absolutely right. That's where our first blood went down. But the top lane, Kezu had to go for early boots against Ryze. You can understand why. We talked about the danger of this combination. Heavy amount of disables, even level 2 shackles. And the best thing about this is, like, Shadow Shaman's, his shackles has been buffed up routinely to the point where it's actually really good damage too. It's level 2, shackles does 200 damage. That's huge for a level 2, you know, quote-unquote Duke. Yeah, sure, it's very much spread over time, but that makes it even stronger against Faceless Void. It means that Faceless Void can't just immediately time walk all the damage off. So he's got 3.5 seconds plus another 1.25, so 4.75 seconds to stun. For the Ursa just to beat on him. Era is going to be able to get away. Noya barely managed to dodge the arrow. Nice play by him, though. Synderen still has the Brain Sap. It looks like he may have to use it here. Noya still has a Shockwave. Synderen barely gets off the Brain Sap in time. It baits the Doom in a little bit deeper. And they do manage to get the kill. And Hesta Joe might even go down. Never mind. He's got the movement speed. He'll be okay. Sunstrike not going to land. Nor will the arrow. So Hesta Joe's alright. Oh, Hesta Joe, why? Just why? Why did he go? Did he expect Yapzor? I don't even know. I mean, props to Yapzor. I wasn't actually sure if that Starstorm range was going to reach, but it did. But why in the world did he do that? Well, whatever. Back to our middle lane, 30-2 compared to the 34-7. Once again, Pingvinchek is kind of free farming away. Looks like Koifa's done a little bit better job managing Pingvinchek's CS. Look how much damage that did. Level 1. Kezu, trying to get the rune here. Uh-oh, Shadow Shaman. Alright, never mind. Bounty rune, not secured. Kezu jumps back in and grabs it in order to deny it from the Alchemist. Alchemist should be top of the net worth still, thanks to some bounty runes. Should be alright. Yapzor is going to make his rotation up the top lane. You don't have level 6 on Kezu, so I'm surprised he's going for top and not mid, but the Bane is on his way, I guess. Throw out the arrow. Not going to land on Ace. He already makes his way backwards. Leaves Era alone at the bottom lane, but again, Era, self-sufficient carry, particularly once he has his time lapse, so he's good now. Rise is going to be caught here. There's not much he can really do. The arrow's not going to land, but eventually he will be hit by the sleep. He's going to be surrounded. Sunstrike! Oh no, they actually stopped that a little bit too early, but still it's fine. They have the damage. Shadow Shaman's simply such a squishy creature. And that's the thing. Shadow Shaman may be excellent as a solo support to zone out the offlaner. He's got to be one of the best because of his heavy disabled, but he is no good, no bueno, when he just gets run at by heroes. One of the worst supports in that. Already seen. Looks like Lincoln's first here for Era, as he's not going to go the boots build on Weaver. Some like it, some don't. Obviously, it's one of the few heroes. See, maybe Weaver, techies, you know. Is there anybody else who could just go without boots? Chen? There's some Chens who go without boots. And they go the mech build. Riding that beast of burden slowly through the jungle. Trying to get in range for the arrow, doesn't get it. Everything's turning out really well here for No Diggity. They're basically winning every single test to Joe. You just scared that rotations were going to come across? Kills the Arcane Room with that. Not quite in the position to catch the Ursa as he rotates around. This combination is really good for popping the Ursa straight up because obviously most of the time he's going to be looking to enrage, but Chronosphere into the arrow, nail him with the Starstorm, and then a Sunstrike on top. It's so much single target damage, and you have no saving heroes. That's really important to talk about. They have no 4 or 5 positions like the Venge or Dazzle or anything else. Hesta Joe's gonna die. They have nothing else to stop a combination like that. Nobody to get in front of the arrow. Nobody swap somebody out from that Sunstrike. So all this insane, you know, single target damage essentially from No Diggity is a free kill. Every single time they get the sleep, every single time they hit the Chronosphere, free kills all around. Now, one of the ways Danish Bears look to get back in this game is going to be Roshan. Unfortunately for them, Koipa knows all about this. This is why he's placed the Fort Spirit. But oftentimes, the right kind of lineups around the Ursa, it doesn't matter if the enemy team knows you're doing Roshan because you're able to do it fast enough anyway. Noya getting the haste rune at the right time, and you could see they couldn't even get inside the pit fast enough. Roshan is going to die. They're going to be able to pick up the Aegis, and now they're going to fight this one. Yapzor is going to be forced to leap himself away. Sleep. Oh, he does manage to get hit by the Sunstrike. Looks like Cinderon's going to be the target here as he's just slightly out of position. Will be run down by States. Ace pops his ultimate. Nuke kind of scaring him into the enrage. Wanted to make sure he doesn't lose his Aegis too early. Now, that was definitely a win for Danish Bears, but it was a win that they had to get. This kind of lineup, your Dire side, you've got an Ursa, you have to get Roshans. And that's just something to keep in mind in the future. That if No Diggity somehow managed to get Roshan number 2, Roshan number 3, it's going to disrupt Danish Bears' timing entirely. Penguin check going for the same builds here. Not terribly surprised by that. Somebody with Armlet, Blink Dagger, S and Y. Not sure if the S and Y is really the build. I think with Armlet and Blink, you should really be able to transition into something better. Era. Gonna be spotted here. No Doom. Doesn't go out fast enough. Weaver gets away. They needed that kill so badly. Quaipa is well on his way to whatever item he wants. I think Yule Scepter is probably the best bet here.
Dire's middle tower is under
It also likely means, oh, top lane.
structures are fortified.
I mean, the Weaver is just almost unnecessary damage.
Glad we
Get
can
the
meet
kill in the Furion.
face to face.
What was I saying? Oh, you're probably, you're gonna need an Aghanim Scepter on Ace in this game. You need to be able to stop Fiend's Grip. There's so many disables that BKB just will not be able to help you with. The Sleep Arrow combination, Fiend's Grip. There was something else.
Dire's top tower is under attack. Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Can't remember what it was.
Radiant structures are for Dire's top
Maybe it
tower
was just those
is
two.
fortified.
But the Ags are going to be pretty necessary. But the Yule Scepter will still be a good pickup, I think, for Quaipa. What did he get? He got the Yule.
Radiant's middle tower
You gotta
has
find some
fallen.
way to kite the Alchemist and the Ursa. As many kiting items as possible. In fact, probably gonna say that Synderen, you know, as much as I love the Aether Lens on Bane, I love it as much as the next guy, but, you know, Force Stats are really good in these kind of games. I think Yapzor should get one as well.
Out of my way!
Force Staffs and Ghost Scepters, man. Those are the items. No, yeah, just struggling to find the right rotation to catch anybody with this Doom.
Allies!
Fiend's Grip. Okay, it's gonna be blown up here. That's gonna be his Aegis. Yeah, Yapzor also managed to scout, I believe, with the Moonlight Shadow, scouted the ward being placed. Kezu gonna be caught by the shackles here. They can throw out the Doom, they will. Definitely necessary. Ace wasn't gonna be there fast enough, so. A kill that will now turn into a tier 1 tower. Synderen,
has fallen.
kill the ward. Or did go back for the treads, but we'll still have Lincoln's at a pretty reasonable time.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
I also like his build of maxing out Swarm, only leaving Geminate attack at a reasonable level
Structures
2.
are fortified. Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Now he's going S&Y again. Penguin check. It's just like, look guys, that last game, that wasn't on me. Alright? Give me the same hero, same matchup, same item build, all the way through. And I'll prove you guys that Alchemist will carry us. Danish Bears up slightly in both gold and experience, but not by a heavy amount. And a lot of this does come back down to the Alchemist. 1,000 gold ahead of the Invoker, Quaipa with his Hand of Midas. Doom is just too far behind. He's so far away from any of those initiation items, because he's still trying to build just drums. But, you know, Blink Dagger or even Shadow Blade, you know, one of those two items is pretty much a necessity for Doom. If he ever hopes to be able to catch the Invoker, Faceless Void, or even the Weaver, to catch them out with the ultimate. Well, I hope you guys are all having a fantastic... I don't even know what today is. The calendar is not opening because Windows 10 sucks. Can we all agree on that? The Windows 10 is just buggy as all hell and sucks dick. Yeah, I think we can. Anyway, I don't even know what the day is. Wednesday. I hope you guys are all having a fantastic Wednesday morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are. Pretty nice here in Berlin, Germany. Blitz bribed me 50 euros earlier today. You know, I was having a good time, streaming away, playing some Dota, losing some MMR, all good stuff. And Blitz, I didn't know it, but Blitz bribed me with 50 euros to go to the grocery store with him because he's so him. There's no other way to really describe it. He's just so Blitz that he won't go to the grocery store by himself. So I went to the grocery store with him. Granted, that 50 euros pretty much covered the cabs and not much else, so it's not even like I really got anything out of it. But went grocery shopping with him. Didn't know it at the time, but he actually had his stream. He was streaming as well, and he told his viewers, he's like, somebody donate me $50. Just trust me. And then he used that $50 to bait me to go to the store. How is that even, like, he doesn't even pay me with his own money. How is that a thing? Blitz, man. That guy is like a legend when it comes to laziness. All you guys, you think you're lazy right now? You're watching esports on your laptop, laying in bed or whatever. You think you're pretty lazy? Nah, it doesn't even come close to what Blitz Dota is able to accomplish. Damn. Look at these two. They've dropped their swords, they're ready to just brawl. They're ready to fight man to man, no weapons, just fists. I'm like 100% certain though that the dire side creep takes it. I mean, just look at it. It just looks bigger and more muscular. It's got bones coming out of its back, man. Never looked at the creeps before. He's got a mask and everything. Meanwhile, this radiant creep, what's it got? Really poorly done eyes. That's all I'm seeing. Come on, homies. No Diggity. Why are you giving me a pause in a solo cast? It's the worst you could possibly do. You know, I just wanna like sit here and talk about Dota and stuff, but when there's a pause happening and I'm solo casting, there's just like not a whole lot to work. Especially seeing as like yeah, you know, I'm not really gonna break down Alchemist too much. It's the exact same thing we saw last game. A little bit of deja vu. Anyway, Danish Bears, they probably need to execute a couple of I don't know. I feel like they're just letting. How many smokes there? One smoke in store, no smokes on their body. So that's pretty goddamn unfortunate. They kind of need to. They have to save that smoke for Roshan. But this just it does kind of just mean that no Diggity are just gonna run this game through. Like they are controlling the pace of this game fully with their pickoff squad. No €50, that's like $75. Somebody does not know the conversion rate very well. It's actually a little bit the opposite. Wait, no, never mind. You're right. I don't know what I'm kind of tired, guys. I was supposed to cast the American games, but Toby was sick today, so I did the European games instead, so our contract casters could do the US games. Getting a what? God damn it, Synderen! Fucking Synderen! Like, it never fails. This guy is always out to troll me. Even when I'm casting his goddamn games, he's trolling me. Getting a water. Come on. Anyway, it's more like 50 to 60 right now. Man, I came to Europe at just the worst time, by the way. The worst time. I moved to Europe when the European dollar, the euro, when it was pretty weak. Or pretty strong, rather. Sorry, I'm getting all this mixed up in my head. The euro was really strong when I moved over. So when I brought all this cash with me over to, my grand adventure in Germany, the euro was really strong. So I just got reamed. And the next time that I went back to America, the dollar had like bounced back and it was basically like 1-to-1 even. And I had to exchange again. I got reamed again, man. This never stops. Is Blitz casting right now? Or is Blitz streaming right now? I talked to Blitz about casting with me today because I was like, hey, I don't have anybody to cast with. He was like, no. Like, that does not sound like a good time. Can you believe that? Dude forces me to go grocery shop with him. He won't even come in and cast with me. Disgusting. Hey, shout out to the ESL underscore Dota 2 channel. If you guys haven't seen that, ESL is essentially running some old tournaments. Oh look, you can listen to. Oh wait, it's a Star Fox advertisement. But if you haven't seen that, that's pretty cool. They've been doing it for a while in CS, and I was wondering when they were going to do it for Dota 2. But this channel, I think this channel just pretty much plays 24/7. I'm not really sure, but it just pretty much plays 24/7 and just playing like old tournaments. So you can hear right now, it's IG versus EG. Wait, is this the ESL One Frankfurt game? Is this ESL One Frankfurt 2014? Is this 22-0? Is that the meme? $22-0. Listen, it's Synderen, even when I'm casting. We'll stop it right there. Stop it right there. Anyway, shout out to that channel. It's pretty cool. You guys ever have a hankering for being able to relive some nostalgia days of Dota 2? Go check out that channel. Yeah, I know. Not the European dollar. Whatever. You guys know what I mean. Come on now. Don't be picky like that. Are we good? We good? You no longer thirsty, Synderen? Huh? Sure you don't need a blanket or something? Alright. Finally back underway. No Diggity versus the Danish Burrs. What Danish Bears, since they can't actually use smokes and try and play aggressively and go for pickoffs, what they need more than anything right now is really good map awareness and good wards. And unfortunately, that is not there for Penguin to be able to see the rotation coming out to gank him here at this bottom lane. And he should end up dying. Even though his ultimate was still going on, he got a little bit of regen, but it eventually wears itself thin, and Penguin will end up going down. They've just got to be able to dance around these ganks of no Diggity. I almost called them Dignitas. They've just got to be able to dance around these ganks. Because I don't think they're ready to team fight yet. They definitely need Ags, I think, still on Ace.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's bottom tower has fallen.
Give us the link. Come on. I said it out loud. The Twitch channel is. You guys that lazy? Whoa, whoa, whoa. Arrow. Sunstrike. Starstorm. Yapzor nails another one. Man, 3-0 and 3. He's got a mech already on him. He's having a happy, happy day. (9-2), 18 minutes. If you guys have lost track of where we're at in this game, you can see Danish Bears, they had a slight lead. It's pretty much the Alchemist lead, and now when the net worth graphs are even or even to the favor of no Diggity, it means no Diggity is definitely far ahead. You can see from the kill score that no Diggity's like single target kill squad lineup, as I kind of like to call it, is has been able to find a lot of pickoffs. That was an unsuccessful gank. You're seeing a lot of these. Noya does not have a spell to go through and break that Lincoln, so Era can play pretty aggressively, even more so than he used to. Kazu does get the Vlad this game. I think it's fair. I think the game's gonna be slow enough that Vlad's is warranted in this game. And he's got two right clickers in both the Invoker and Weaver who are going to be able to take advantage of that. Penguin not fast enough to be able to get off the unstable concoction, and Kezu does get away. And that's really bad because you just put both cores in the same lane. You just flash them both at the bottom lane. This means no Diggity, like, Aaron knows he's free to go through the Radiant, the Dire Side jungle, excuse me. In fact, I'm surprised he's not putting pressure on the top tower right now. Simply because of the fact that he's got that Lincolns and that he did see those heroes rotate to bottom lane. Alright, a fresh creep for Noya, but still not giving himself a spell to break that Lincoln's. Obviously, many times the Wolf Commander is a very welcome sight for Dooms. Not so much in this case. We're gonna have a pretty classic trade-off here. No Diggity. They know about this. They know the tier 2, or they know that Roshan is being taken right now by Danish Bears, and they're fine with it. They are gonna look. Now, normally the trade-off is pretty standard in Dota 2, harkening back for like a really long time now, that you'll trade, because of the Dire Side advantage, it's Radiant, you'll trade like a top lane push and taking a tower in exchange for the enemy team doing Roshan, if you simply can't contest that. But no Diggity, we're actually in a good enough position that they're gonna get a decent amount of damage on the tier 2 and mid. as well as taking the tier 2 top lane, and Era's just going to keep pushing it all the way into the tier 3. At the very least, you could say you will have the opportunity to explore this Alchemist build a little bit more than last game, simply due to the fact that it doesn't look like this game's going to be ending anytime soon. Danish Bears spotted out by many wards. You could see the way that no Diggity wanted to be able to maintain control of their Radiant jungle by being able to get vision of both of the big entrances. And then, in a way, they still have control of this area of entrance thanks to this ward right here. So even if they try and push through mid and go into the jungle through there, now that the tier 1 tower is down, they'll still be able to scout that out. Ace is going to be able to catch Cinder in here, gets the clap. Oh no, it's an invisible chicken! Invisible chickens, though, not invulnerable. Not to the Earth Shock of Ursa. Going for the unstable concoction again. Attempting the stun, but vision always on point. Danish Bears really got to get a gem, I think. It's getting to a point where they are being run a little ragged when they're looking for kills, and they also never get the opportunity to I lost my train of thought. What was I saying? Oh, to get those ganks. Like, all these ganks are just being spoiled for Danish Bears because of the fact that there's all this aggressive vision that's spotting them out. And it can only happen so many times. You can only have so many of these failed rotations before you just gotta give up and buy a gem and start killing some wards. Finally, Doom does get that Blink Dagger. Talked about how important it was for the pickup. But no Diggity. Across the board are all getting a good amount of items, except Cinderin. Actually, he's still got an Ether Lens, that's not bad. That Doom needs to Doom Koifa so badly in these fights. Because we're getting to the levels now that he's got Aghanim Scepter, he's level 16 as well. You're getting the value control levels now in Quas and Wex, now that Exort is maxed out. So what's so dangerous about this is you're running 2 melee cores and a melee 4 position against an Invoker who's really farmed, an Invoker who's going to be able to style on you with ice walls and deafening blasts and tornado EMPs and all this shenanigans that Invoker does. And unless they get the initiation, they won't have a good way to stop him.
Haste!
And that's where the Blink Dagger comes in. The Blink Dagger for the Doom, Alchemist, Ursa, Shadow Shaman. Shadow Shaman's gonna need one too. Trying to go onto Cinderin here, that's a freebie.
Heard not my warnings.
Koifa will be able to get away with the Ghost Walk. Run at him. Yeah. You can see the effect of not having Whoops. Ace. Oh man, he's gonna have that bug on him. He won't be able to blink. Oh, this is just so bad. Weaver's gonna be able to get the Nature's Prophet. They're still gonna be able to get away with the Moonlight Shadow. This is why Weaver is so good. It's so good at being able to stop Blink Daggers. Ace pops the Enrage, but they're just gonna dance around him a little bit until they have the opportunity to finish him off, take away that Aegis. Now they're gonna surround him for life number 2. Hop away into the arrow. Ace gonna be blown up. The second life is gone already.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
And Danish Bears, I think Danish Bears is just done for. I don't think they have anything else they can really do. I mean, that was supposed to be the engagement for them, and it just turned really awkward. Starts with the Alchemist being gone on by that Desolator. Still doesn't have the AC, so he's only at 10 armor total, while that Desolator is chewing through 7 of it, so he's left with very, very little armor. The physical damage practically doing its full amount. He doesn't have a BKB, so he can't deal with the Invoker, who is able to do things like Cold Snap, Tornado, EMP, Meatball, whatever. Whatever combination that Koifa can dream of, he can do. Jump in, Kazu gets the time dilation, just causing some havoc. Noya will be immediately blown up, thanks in part to the Fiend's Grip. Penguin Check already makes his initiation. They try and go on Kazu there with control of the Shadow Shaman, but doesn't have the opportunity to do much there. Ace will get a one-off there on the Mirana, but that looks to be it. Actually, I take that back. Cinderin, he'll also go down.
Now you're
But they still got the range racks on no Diggity. They didn't have Chronosphere in that fight, and they're about to get Agonized for Kazu as well. So the next time he throws out a no-hero Chronosphere, it won't be as big of a deal. Ether Lens for the Shadow Shaman now. So you have some... It's almost like the regular range of Shackles. Yeah, Ether Lens. Its range is just so garbage. But for a good reason. Koifa doing his thing, running around. Looks like, I think this should be Lincoln's next. I guess it could be Scythe, but I'm pretty sure the only way they lose team fights is if Invoker gets chronoed and Shadow Shaman is able to get his full control on either Kazu or the Weaver. Chronosphere on Hester Joe with the Sun Strike. This should be a pretty easy kill. Yapzor manages to just barely snipe it out with the arrow. There's finally the AC of the Alchemist. Still going to have some big time issues with all of this magic damage from the Invoker. Danish Spirits are really baiting this top lane, hoping that someone's going to TP back, someone will push out the lane. But it's just not happening. No Diggity, they're going to go in. Oh no! They lose Invoker almost immediately thanks to Rise jumping in, managing to get the quick combination of Ether Shock and Hex to blow up the Lincolns and get the instant disable on the Invoker, allowing Ace obviously to cream him at his leisure.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
They're gonna be able to get more, Kazu. Guys still got his Blink Dagger, so it looks like they're good, but this would be a great time for them to do Roshan. Danish Bears haven't had a pickoff like that in quite a long time. As you can see from this chart, the last time they got a kill, what was it? Noya Doom killed the Faceless Void, and that was like in 14 minutes.
Are under attack.
So they've gone 15 minutes without a pickoff. Finally get one, allowing them to be able to get Roshan, Boots of Travel, and Aegis now for the Ursa. Alchemist will pick up the cheese.
The prize is mine.
No Diggity. I think their end game comes... Qualifier? No, I guess he lost a little gold. Danish Bears, you might need to get out of here, Cinderin. Oh no, he got bashed! Oh, classic Cinderin. Now Kenzu's actually going to be doomed up. He's going to go down without being able to get off a Chronosphere. This means the rest of no Diggity. This fight is completely lost. They just need to abandon this fight as fast as they can and cut their losses. Rise almost ends up going down to the Forge Spirits. Koifa being chased down by Penguin Check, but they do not have the Doom with the Gem able to blink forward because of that nasty swarm every single time. Danish Bear, one pickoff turns into Roshan, another pickoff might just turn into an uphill push now. So there's still another 30 seconds on the clock for both Yapzor as well as the boy. Do they have the damage to be able to take, let's see, 30 seconds? I think they have the damage to be able to take tier 3 and melee racks. The glyph is still up. So you're only talking about maybe 20 seconds? I don't know. If Koifa TP's back and he hits like the ice wall before they go uphill, and then hits them with the tornado, EMP, cold snaps a couple, deafening blasts them. There's so many obnoxious things that Invoker can do. Man, I remember not so long ago, you know, what was it, 2 patches ago or something? I was like, yeah, I kind of miss Invoker. He was such a fun hero to watch. Fuck me, dude. Screw that guy. Screw past me who said that, because, what a frustrating hero Invoker is now. Let's give him Ghost Walk. It's better than Clinks' Skeleton Walk. Let's go give him Cold Snap. It's better than Enigma's Malefice. Let's give him Ice Wall. What an absurd ability as a whole. Shun Strike, global, pure damage. You got the... I mean, like, Meteor's, like, really low down on the list when it comes to OP abilities, despite it being one of the abilities that allows you to freely blow up somebody for free. And yet, that ability, like, no one's like, oh yeah, stupid Meteor, what an overpowered spell. Let's not forget about the oft not talked about Alacrity. Better than Bloodlust combined with what's a straight damage increase? Howl? Howl's global, that's not a good example. Bloodlust mixed with like Lone Druid's Roar thing, whatever that's called, Primal Roar, something like that. Like better than both of those combined. Great hero, the Wizard Man. Great hero. How much pause time do they left? I mean, I haven't encountered a game in a really long time where pauses have been an issue. Kind of getting there. Let's check out items, guys. All else fails. The hell? Weaver fell down and got stuck. Somebody needs to give Weaver a helping hand. Alright, my admin's all over it. Not even sure why he said. Got super reliable admin. Help me. Oh yeah, shout out to Yabsor, by the way. That guy does not. Clearly, you guys have discovered it by now. That guy does not have very stable connection. Yabsor is Jordanian, so he doesn't have great pings or great internet or really great anything. Dude's still incredibly talented at the Dota video game. We could talk about Danish Bears, though. We went a lot about no Diggity and kind of talking about some of their players and where they came from. Didn't really get a chance to talk about Danish Bears too much. But you've got on the Danish Bears side, I said, I talked about Ace. I really think that Ace is just a really good aggressive carry. I think that guy is pretty damn talented. I think he's one of the best players that Danish Bears has, if not the best. That guy's been around for quite some time, going all the way back to the old 3D Max team, which was a Danish team that played all the way back in like the early Dota 2 days of back in like 2013 days. This guy's been around for a while, and he played, I believe he also played with Hestajo as well as Noya during those days, if I'm not totally wrong. So he's been playing with this crew on and off for a long time now. Ace and Rise have also been playing together for quite a long time as well. Rise, of course, being a part of the on and off again flip side tactics and mouse sports groups through 2014 or through 2015. Rise and Ace have played together again on and off for quite a long time. And then it's just kind of Pingvinchek, who's kind of like the newer member of this squad, who I would say this is his best team to date. His most well-known team. He used to play for like some older names, like Spin to Win. Do you remember that team? They're kind of like tier 3 at the time. This is definitely his best team to date. Great pub player. It's like 7.5K or something like that. He's just solid all around. Noya not going to be going back for the drums at all. He's now going to turn this Robe of the Magi into a Vlad. Or wait, what am I saying? I'm sure he's going to go back for the drums eventually. Alright, whatever. Ignore me. I don't know why I said Robe of the Magi into Vlad's, but he's making a Vlad's. And he has a Robe of Magi. Those ideas just kind of collided in my head. I mean, the Vlad's is obviously a good pickup for both the Alchemist as well as the Ursa. Helps their pushing power as well. I forgot we were talking about whether or not they could go high ground. I think I digressed into how dumb Invoker is with his insane abilities. Who now has a Lincoln Sphere. So all his insane abilities basically made it so Danish Bears couldn't go high ground despite 30 seconds. With 2 heroes down. They were possibly also afraid of buybacks from No Diggity, because No Diggity do have such good catch. Koipa found himself a free kill, and he knows it too.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Like a snail in a pool of molasses. Koipa's just able to toy with his prey. Like a spider, the ice wall is his web. He's got a support in it, and he just kind of like wastes his time before consuming that poor support for sustenance. Basically, it's going to be coming in soon for Ace. That Lincoln Sphere is still, I think, the most problematic item pickup for Danish Bears, though, in quite some time. Era has himself a BKB. They've got a Scythe of Ice on Furion. So we do also have there's another double instant disable. This is really important. They've got something, again, to be able to break these Lincolns and still be able to get a hard disable on either the Weaver or the Invoker. So Danish Bears do have ways to be able to win these fights, but it's going to just be hard for them to execute it. They just lost their Aegis as well.
Gold and sweet.
So not the most ideal scenario, especially since the Ursa just bought out. They're looking for a pick off inside the Radiant jungle, but of course we know no. Swear to God. No Diggity, not Dignitas, no Diggity, who are doing something similar in the dire side jungle. Rise. You're gonna go forward and drop the Serpent Wards while the rest of the team backs up to defend their tier 3. I think that's kind of the play. I don't know. Alchemist is defending at Scylla right now. Cinderin not gonna go for the Fiend script. Everyone's gonna back up to base, and they're actually gonna push through. You're gonna see Quaipa cut across and see if he can find anybody that's too far forward. And Era, Glimmer Cape is going to wear out here. They get the instant disable. They're going to try and jump on Era as fast as possible. Ace misses some of his damage, but still looks like no sleep. Cinderin, did he just save him? He did! Time lapse goes down, and now Ace controlled by the Fiend script. Cinderin, oh man, if only Ace had misclicked on that creep once, it would have gotten Era. Still though, this fight would have gone nasty for Danish Bears, I think, no matter what. No Diggity position themselves quite well to abuse that initiation. Penguin Check is now just going, what the hell just happened, guys? Got my cheese fermenting in my inventory. We were supposed to just hang out, farm someone. He's got 5,700 gold as well. I mean, he's pretty close to getting an Abyssal Blade for himself. He won, so I'm not sure what his item build is, to be honest.
Dire's middle barracks are under attack.
But now Quaipa fearlessly jumping into the enemy base, starts taking out the melee racks. There is a tier 2 bottom, but not one at top lane, so no Diggity can go straight for the second lane of racks. It looks like they should be able to take it before Danish Bears are ready to go. Era coming out, almost nailing Penguin Check. He really wants to stop this melee racks from going down, and it looks like he will actually be able to. They just committed fully from no Diggity. They should have been able to take that, but not fast enough, it seems. Danish Bears, though, on the precipice here. Completely losing this game. They're trying to get the Vlads on Denoya first before they do anything else. It's going to be the Abyssal for Penguin Check, so more lockdown. Everyone's going to buy out. Everyone's going to buy out. Oh look, 1.5 second invoke. Why don't you just get an arcane rune while you're at it, Quaipa? Shitty wizard. This is a real shitty wizard right here. You think, you know, you see Quaipa, you see him a little bit out of position, he goes for a kill, you try and cut him off? No. It's too fast for you, man. Too fast. Cruising along at a smooth 522. He's gonna make you enrage again. Ketsu is almost there with the axe. Oh, we managed to get the Doom on Quaipa, plus the Orchid. They're going to be able to get the Scythe of Ice on Ketsu as well. They're going to be able to combo stun both of these heroes in order to take them out. The top lane is still being gone on, though. The range racks is already gone. Era gonna stick around for the melee racks. He's almost got it too. Pops his BKB. That's why he sticks around. He knew he wasn't getting punished here. Yapzor, unfortunately, getting bashed first hit, will drop the gem. And yes, they lost their second lane of racks, but this might be the opening Danish Bears needed to be able to take control of the map and try and end this game now, because 2 lanes of racks, you don't want to be sticking around. against this combo.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Because otherwise, you're eventually just going to get your bottom lane ratted out, no matter even if you are able to hold your ground and win fights. Still a strong possibility of you getting mega'd, no matter what. So Danish Bears need to try and even out this Rax advantage, force some buybacks at the very least here. And I think no Diggity would rather give up a lane of Rax than expend their buyback on the Invoker. But I guess we'll have to see. Ketsu is back up. He's got the Chronosphere. He could set up a really good fight here, and he is going to be able to catch two. Ace is going to be locked in. They're going to try and throw some damage onto him. He still has the cheese, and both heroes are going to be able to survive with plenty of HP. Ace now goes in, gets the Abyssal Blade onto Kezu. Fiend's Grip stops that, but only for a moment. His Enrage goes down, but it does buy enough time for Kezu to be able to get out. Ace starts walking himself away. Reminder, he still has the cheese. Air in the background did manage to kill the Shadow Shaman, but now he managed to get bashed up. No, he gets off the time lapse. Oh no! Now Danish Bears, they're going to lose this fight guaranteed, as they're going to be kited around underneath the ice wall. Again, even if they got Era, it still looks like that fight would go bad for them. And now it's going to be Danish Bears going to be the ones who are going to be forced to expend buybacks. They might as well go for it now. Heads to Joe, turns around. Scythe first, then the Orchid. Instead of the other way around. One buyback. I'm not sure why Danish... Maybe they're trying to lure No Diggity in. Think, hey man, you could go for the throne right now, and then they're going to all buy out and see if they can win some big team fight. Because there's clearly no way that No Diggity are just going to kind of muck about and not go for objectives unless you buy out. And it looks like one buyout from the Ursa is going to be enough to force No Diggity back. Or I say force, but I really think they could have kept going. I think it's more just like they know they're really far ahead. They know the only way they're really going to lose that game is if they play too aggressively. There's the buyback from the Alchemist. They know they cannot afford to give up Roshan. That's both the Aegis and the cheese. The Aptor are going to be gone on here. Glimmer Cape buys them a little bit of time to counter ward laid down. They also manage to get the Hex, plus the Shackles. Sleep goes down. Again, Tinderin saving his ally. Will be able to jump away. Chronosphere locks Ace in. They get the arrow. He pops the Enrage underneath Chronosphere and will be able to survive through this combination. Enough? No, he can't get the TP out. There's a big crit coming out from Era that will be able to stop him. Pingvin check not going to be gone on here. Instead, they look to clean up the rest of the heroes who, Jesus Christ, Era tears the Shadow Shaman a new hole. And Noya is also going to fall. They turn back to Roshan, and that is definitely the end of this series. Aegis, cheese, no buybacks. Only a tier 4 left. No Diggity. They keep their hopes alive here in the ESL One Frankfurt European Qualifier. They move on through to the lower bracket, beating Danish Bears 2-0, and will move on to face up against Na'Vi. Na'Vi, who did lose to Virtus Pro. Toby and I casted the game. It was a little bit surprising to me because I thought Virtus Pro was just in bad shape and Na'Vi were still okay, but Virtus Pro 2-0 Na'Vi. And that will be our next matchup. That looks to be happening. It's going to be scheduled